Title: No Vision, No Success. Building Purpose-Driven Dreams That Last, written by Iyabo Bello. Narrated by Julie. Introduction. 2:35 a.m. to 35 a.m. My daughter is fast asleep beside me, her small breaths steady and peaceful. I can hear the hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen, the distant sound of a car passing by in the quiet street, and the silence of a world that seems paused except for my thoughts. I'm wide awake, eyes open in the dark, not from fear, not from anxiety, not even from excitement, but from a question, a deep, soul-piercing question I can't ignore. Can you have a dream without a vision? It sounds like a philosophical riddle, doesn't it? The kind you'd toss around in a university lecture hall. But in that moment, it wasn't abstract. It was personal. It was real. And it hit me like a whisper from God in the quiet hours when the world sleeps and your truth has no more places to hide. You see, I've been building for years. Building businesses, building platforms, building people, coaching founders through their mess, their missions, and their miracles. I've spoken on international stages, given countless massive classes, poured into others from a place of strength and conviction. I've smiled, I've inspired, I've conquered, but I hadn't told many people this. There was still one thing: I hadn't conquered my own clarity. Somewhere along the way, I realized I had a big dream, one that had lived in my heart for years. Stretching, glowing like a light, I kept trying to chase. But even with all my experience, my drive, and my know-how, something was missing. I didn't have a vision. I had the what, but not the how. I had passion, but lacked the process. I had fire, but no blueprint. I was running on ambition without alignment. And so, at 2:35 a.m., lying in bed beside my daughter, the most precious reminder of my why was forced to face the truth. Dreams don't build themselves. They require more than inspiration. They demand direction. They beg for clarity. They must be seen before they can be lived. That night, I thought about all the people I've met who had incredible dreams, people with hearts full of purpose, full of intention. But they were stuck, not because they lacked talent, not because they weren't called, but because they lacked vision. They didn't know how to translate what they felt in their spirit into something real, tangible and structured. And maybe, just maybe, you're in that same place right now. Maybe you've been grinding for years, chasing a dream that keeps slipping through your fingers. Maybe you've grown frustrated, wondering why it hasn't happened for you yet. Maybe you've built something, only to realize it's not what you actually wanted. Or maybe you're like I was, awake at night with a question you can't shake. Let me say this: you're not alone. And you're not broken. That moment, your 2:35 a.m. moment, is not a sign of failure. It's an invitation to awaken. It's your opportunity to pause, reevaluate, and choose vision over vague dreaming. Because clarity changes everything. This book is born from that still, sacred moment. It's for the builder, the dreamer, the visionary in waiting. It's for the one who knows there's more, but hasn't quite mapped it out. And it's for the one who's ready to stop running in circles and start walking in purpose. Here's what I now know: dreams may call you, but only vision will carry you. And purpose. Purpose will sustain you when both feel too heavy. So wherever you are on your journey, just starting out or rebuilding something that once broke, this book is a guide, a mirror, and a match to help reignite your fire and refine your direction. Now, let's begin. It's time to turn your dream into vision, and your vision into legacy. Chapter 1. The Spark and the Map. Dreams are the spark. Vision is the map. Purpose is the fire that keeps it all burning. Iyabo Bello. Let's begin by unpacking this. Dreams are what we see in our minds when we allow ourselves to imagine, without limits. They're often born in moments of restlessness or silence at the back of a classroom, on a long train ride, in the middle of a sermon, or lying in bed at 2:35 a.m. Dreams are raw, emotional, and instinctive. They're the pictures we paint in our hearts before we have the tools to build the frame. They're what children carry so freely before the world tells them to be realistic. But here's what we don't often talk about. Dreams alone are not enough. Dreams are the spark. A dream is powerful, it's the beginning. But sparks alone don't cook meals, light rooms, or fuel engines. They must be captured and directed, or they'll simply fizzle out in the air. A spark without intention becomes a missed opportunity, and a dream without structure becomes a source of frustration. Vision is the map. Vision is what happens when the spark gets anchored. It's the difference between saying, "One day I want to open a bakery," and actually writing a business plan, finding suppliers, and testing recipes. Vision is strategy, clarity, and direction. It's what separates the inspired from the impact. Float where dreams float in the air. Vision walks on the ground. It says, "This is where I'm going. This is how I'll get there. This is what I need to do today to move one step closer." Without a map, you can drive in circles with the best intentions and still never arrive. I've watched people spend years busy with a dream, but making no actual progress because they never stopped to create a vision. Vision doesn't mean you have it all figured out. It means you've chosen to be intentional about where you're going. Purpose is the fire that keeps it all burning. Purpose is different. It goes deeper than the dream or even the vision. Purpose is the why behind it all. It's what shows up when the excitement fades. It's what whispers, "Keep going," when nobody is clapping. It's what carries you through the silent seasons, the rejections, the detours. Purpose is the anchor, the fuel, and the fire. I've seen incredibly gifted people with dazzling dreams and polished plans fall apart because they lacked a strong sense of purpose. And I've seen ordinary people, others distrise, thrive, and become unstoppable because they were deeply connected to why they started. The realization that changed everything when I first started coaching. I was surprised by how many ambitious people lacked clarity. They were creative, passionate, and willing but directionless. Some had brilliant ideas but hadn't committed to the process. Others were stuck chasing trends because they had no internal compass guiding their decisions. And then there were those who were burnt out, not because they weren't good enough, but because they were disconnected from their deeper why. I began to notice a pattern. Most people have a dream. Very few have a vision, and fewer still truly know their purpose. Why this matters more than ever: we live in a world where dreaming is celebrated, but vision is rarely taught. We repost motivational quotes. We talk about manifesting our goals. We create mood boards. But when it comes time to build, to structure the idea, to plan, to execute, many people freeze. And I don't blame them. We've romanticized dreaming, but we've undertrained people in designing their dream. The result: a generation full of frustrated creatives, ambitious entrepreneurs, and gifted individuals who feel stuck because no one ever told them how to move from spark to structure. That's why this book exists. Let's make it personal. Let's pause for a moment. Don't just read this chapter, experience it. Reflection questions. What is one dream that keeps resurfacing in your heart? Have you taken time to turn it into a vision, or is it still just floating in your imagination? What deeper purpose fuels that dream? Why does it matter to you? Mini exercise. Spark to map. Write down one big dream you've had for over a year. Beneath it, write 5 practical steps you would need to take to move it from dream to vision. Then ask yourself, do I have The fire purpose to keep going even when it gets hard. From spark to structure. A true story. One of my clients, a talented writer, came to me with a dream to publish a book. She had notebooks filled with ideas, quotes, and half-written chapters. But after 5 years, there was still no book. Why? Because she was stuck in the dreaming phase. She didn't have a vision. No writing schedule. No editor. No deadline. No strategy. Together, we mapped out a clear timeline. We aligned the book's content with her life's purpose. Within 6 months, she held the first proof copy in her hands. The difference wasn't just in her effort, it was in her clarity. Final thoughts for this chapter. Dreams will excite you. Vision will focus you. Purpose will sustain you. You need all 3, so I want you to sit with this truth. Your dream is valid, but your vision will determine whether it lives or dies. In the next chapter, we'll dig into why some dreams never get off the ground, and how to recognize whether you're stuck in the dreaming loop or ready to build. But before we move on, give yourself the gift of honesty. Go back to your dream. Ask, have I created a map for this? Have I really invited purpose into the process? Let's not romanticize the spark and then ignore the structure, because you were never just meant to dream, you were meant to build. Chapter 2. When dreams aren't enough, dreams are exciting. They light a fire in you, at least temporarily. They make your heart race with possibility. They make you speak boldly about the future. They get you excited enough to post about them, talk about them, maybe even start them. But here's the truth, no one tells you at the vision board parties. You can have a dream and still go absolutely nowhere. You can dream of writing a best-selling book and never write a single chapter. You can dream of launching your business and still be planning it 5 years later. You can dream of moving abroad, getting married, getting fit, starting a podcast, launching a foundation, and still be standing in the same place 5 years from now. Not because the dream wasn't real, not because you weren't qualified, not because God didn't call you, but because you didn't have the vision to carry it forward. Dreams without vision become emotional noise. Here's a hard pill I had to swallow in my own life. Dreams without structure become frustration. It's that feeling you get when you see others doing what you once said you would do. It's the ache of knowing the idea came to you first, but you didn't act. It's the quiet resentment of watching someone else walk out a vision you abandoned at the dream stage. I've been there, more than once. I remember sitting in the audience at a women's leadership conference, watching a speaker who was absolutely phenomenal. She spoke with fire, clarity, and conviction. The crowd was on their feet. Her book had just launched. Her movement was growing, and instead of feeling inspired, I felt convicted. Why? Because I had that same dream 2 years earlier. But I didn't do anything with it beyond the dreaming part. I had the excitement, I had the idea, but I lacked the follow-through. I didn't have a structured vision. That moment taught me, dreams don't fail because they're impossible. They fail because we never gave them the bones to stand on. You don't lack time, you lack clarity. Let's get real. If you've been telling yourself, I just don't have time, or it's not the right season, ask yourself, do I really not have time? Or have I not made this a priority? Is it really not the right season? Or am I hiding behind perfectionism, fear, or confusion? It's easy to assume that when things aren't moving forward, it must be because we're too busy or not ready. But what if the truth is simpler and scarier? You had a dream, but you didn't build the vision. And without vision, nothing grows. How dreams die? Quietly. Dreams don't usually die in dramatic explosions. They die quietly, buried under procrastination, self-doubt, comparison, or analysis paralysis. Here are 5 silent killers of dreams. Perfectionism, it's not ready yet. Fear of judgment, what will people think? Lack of clarity, I don't know where to start. Waiting for permission, I need someone to believe in me first. Comparison, they're already doing it better than I ever could. If any of these sound familiar, don't be ashamed. You're human, but now that you recognize them, you don't get to stay stuck. Reflection prompt. Think back to a dream you had that faded away. Why didn't it happen? Was it lack of clarity? Was it because you didn't give yourself permission to begin? Was it because you were trying to do it alone and got overwhelmed? Did you confuse dreaming with doing? Be honest. You're not here to impress anyone. You're here to evolve. Action exercise. Dream inventory. Take 10 minutes and do this now. 1. List 3 dreams you once had that never materialized. Be specific. Don't just say, start a business. Say, launch my ethical skincare brand using African botanicals. Name the dream. 2. Next to each dream, write 1 missing ingredient that stopped it. Here are some examples to get you thinking. Vision accountability, funding clarity, courage time management A, mentor or coach, deadline A support system A. Clear plan 3. Now ask, is this dream still alive in me? If yes, what's 1 step I can take this week to give it a new chance with clear vision? Real talk. Don't romanticize the dream and resist the discipline. Everyone loves the dream phase. That's when the idea is exciting, beautiful, and untested. But the real work, the transformation happens when you go from dreaming to building. Most people abandon their dreams because they think, if it's really meant to be, it should be easier. If I have to fight this hard, maybe it's not for me. No, that's a lie. If the dream is real, it's worth fighting for. If the vision is clear, the work becomes meaningful. And if the purpose is strong, you'll keep showing up to your future. There's someone waiting on the other side of your obedience. Someone who needs what's inside your dream. Your future self. Your children, your clients, your community. What happens to them if you give up on the dream? Simply because you never built the vision. Let that settle in. Closing thought: dreams are beautiful, but without vision, they stay locked in your mind. Without action, they wither. Without purpose, they burn out. You have what it takes. Now it's time to build what you were born to carry. Want to take it deeper? At the end of the book, I'll be offering a downloadable dream revival workbook to help you revisit, refine, and resurrect some of the dreams you've abandoned, but this time with vision. In the next chapter, we'll explore why vision is so rare and how to cultivate it in a distracted, comparison-driven world. But for now, sit with this truth. You were not just made to dream, you were made to complete. Chapter 3. The Vision Gap. A dream without a vision is like a car with no engine. Beautiful, but it's going nowhere. This is where many people live. The vision gap. It's that strange space between intention and execution, between inspiration and impact, between having a dream and actually living it. You've got energy, you've got ambition. You might even have a Pinterest board titled My Future Life, or a notebook filled with scribbled ideas. Maybe you journaled about it, shared it with friends, or whispered it in a prayer. But then life happens. Bills, family responsibilities, a job that drains you, an inner critic that won't shut up. Suddenly, the dream gets smaller, not because it stopped mattering, but because you stopped believing it could happen for you. Living in the vision gap, you've been there. In fact, I didn't even know I was living in the vision gap at one point in my life. I thought I was working on it. I thought that because I had written the idea down and told someone about it, that meant progress. but it didn't. I had passion. I had fire. I had potential. But passion without strategy is just noise. And potential without a plan is wasted brilliance. I was stuck in the gap feeling like I was building something great, when in reality, I was just circling the dream in my head, hoping something magical would happen. Here's what I've learned since. Dreaming is passive. Vision is active. Dreaming is emotional. Vision is intentional. Dreaming is easy. Vision requires commitment, clarity, and consistency. Why the gap exists? The vision gap exists for a few core reasons. 1. We don't know how to translate imagination into execution. No one taught us how to go from I have a dream to I have a plan. We were taught to dream big, but not to build intentionally. 2. We romanticize the beginning and underestimate the middle. Starting feels exciting, but sustaining momentum, that's where most people fall off. 3. We lack support and accountability. Without someone asking, how's it going with that thing you said you'd do? We often drift. 4. We believe time will somehow do the work for us. Time doesn't fulfill dreams. Action does. Recognizing the symptoms of vision drift here are signs you may be living in the vision gap. You're busy, but not moving forward. You start a lot of projects, but finish few. You feel overwhelmed by your own ideas. You get bursts of inspiration, but quickly lose steam. You feel stuck even though you know you're capable of more. Sound familiar? You're not alone. But awareness is your first act of power. Now it's time to cross the gap. Pand, build what you've been imagining. Vision board, audit. From fantasy to focus, vision boards are a beautiful tool when used intentionally. Too often, we slap pretty pictures on a board and call it manifestation. But without structure, your board becomes nothing more than a collage of wishes. Let's do a vision board audit together. Whether yours is physical, digital, or just an idea in your mind, it's time to check. Are you still dreaming, or have you started building? Vision board audit exercise. Take 15 to 30 minutes. Pull out your current vision board, or create one now if you haven't. Then answer these 3 questions honestly. 1. Do I know what each image or word truly represents? What does that image of a beach really mean to you? Rest, relocation, time freedom. What does that picture of a TED Talk stage symbolize? A speaking career, influence, purpose. If you don't know why it's there, it's just decoration. Go deeper. 2. What are 3 tangible steps I've taken to move toward each vision on the board? Have you signed up for the course? Built the website? Started saving for the trip? Practiced the skill? Vision is measured in motion. No movement, no momentum. 3. Where do I feel stuck and why? This is the hardest but most powerful question. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's finances. Maybe it's a story you're telling yourself about why you're not ready. Identify the block. Name it. Then begin to build a plan around it. Crossing the vision gap. You move from dreamer to visionary. You must make one important shift. You stop asking, what do I want? And start asking, what am I building and what do I need to make it real? Let's get practical. Here's what I tell my clients, the 3 V's for vision alignment. Visualize it clearly. Don't just see yourself successful. Define what success looks like. Validate it through action. Take one bold step, then another. Action affirms belief. Verbalize it often. Speak your vision out loud. Write it. Share it. Rehearse it until it feels like your reality in motion. Reflection journal prompts. Take some time to sit with these. Where have I mistaken dreaming for doing? What part of my dream needs more structure right now? What do I need to learn, do, or let go of to close the gap between where I am and where I want to be. Closing thoughts. Dream is the seed. Vision is the soil. Purpose is the water. And action is the sunlight that helps it grow. If you're in the gap, don't beat yourself up. The fact that you're reading this means you're ready to step out. Of it, you've imagined enough. Now let's build with intention. In the next chapter, we'll talk about why purpose is the fuel that keeps your vision alive when motivation fades. You're not just a dreamer. You're a builder in the making. Let's go. Chapter 4. Purpose is the difference. Let me share a lyric from gospel artist Smokey Norfolk. The closer I'd get, the more distant I'd feel. The more I thought I had, the less it all seemed real. That lyric hit me like truth wrapped in melody. I remember hearing it during a season when everything looked good on paper, but inside I felt hollowed at. I had dreams. I had momentum. I had some wins people clapped for, but something was missing. It wasn't success. It was substance. It wasn't just the dream. It was purpose. The purpose check. Let's get honest. Some dreams are dressed up in ego. They sound good. They look impressive. They make other people nod and applaud. But when you lay your head on the pillow at night, they don't feed your soul. Because deep down, you know the difference between a performance and a calling. Purpose gives direction to the dream and power to the vision. When your dream is tied to purpose, dream without purpose is a pursuit of self. A dream fueled by purpose, that's a pursuit of impact. When your dream is driven by purpose, you're not chasing applause. You're following alignment. You're not trying to prove something. You're becoming something. You're not just thinking, what can I get? But also, what can I give? That shift is everything. It's what keeps you going when you don't see results. It's what grounds you when imposter syndrome creeps in. It's what reminds you, I'm doing this for something bigger than me. Purpose brings clarity. Have you ever wondered why some people seem so locked in? They don't have more talent than you. They don't have more time or money. But what they do have is clarity of purpose, and that changes everything. Purpose clears the fog. It filters your yes and strengthens your no. It helps you make decisions with conviction instead of confusion. Because when you know why you're building something, you're less likely to abandon it. Purpose versus pressure. Let's not confuse the two. Pressure says, you better not fail. Purpose says, even if you fall, you'll rise stronger. Pressure makes you strive to meet expectations. Purpose makes you serve a deeper mission. Pressure drains you. Purpose sustains you. When your dream is based on pressure, you'll burn out. When it's built on purpose, you'll burn brighter. Personal story, from impressive to impactful. There was a point in my journey when I was chasing dreams that looked good to the world, but felt off in my spirit. I didn't realize it until one day someone asked me, if no one clapped for you, would you still do this? That question cracked me open. Would I still write, still coach, still create platforms and resources for others? The answer was yes, because I wasn't doing it just to be seen. I was doing it because I was called to it, because I know what it feels like to be stuck, because I've seen what's possible when people are given clarity, tools, and belief. That's purpose. Reflection. Finding the thread of purpose. You don't find your purpose in a day. It's a thread that runs through your life, often quietly. But when you pause and pay attention, you'll notice it. What do people always come to you for? What breaks your heart or stirs your spirit? What could you talk about for hours and never get tired? What are the challenges you've overcome that someone else still struggles with? Sometimes your purpose is hiding in your pain, your process, or even your past. It's not always glamorous, but it's always powerful. Action step. The purpose prompt. Take time to write down your responses to the following. What makes me come alive and why? What problems am I passionate about solving? What would I do even if I never got paid for it? Whose transformation do I want to be a part of? Purpose isn't just what you're good at. It's what you're here to contribute. Closing thought streams are exciting. Vision is necessary. But purpose is the difference between quitting and continuing. Without purpose, your dream becomes a performance. With purpose, it becomes a calling. So today I ask you, is your dream tied to your ego or to your calling? Is your vision just about success or is it about significance? The world doesn't just need people who dream. It needs people who are driven by something deeper, people like you. Let's build with purpose. Let's live with fire in the next chapter. We'll explore how to get clear on your why and how that why can anchor you through every high and low. Your dream is real. Your purpose is powerful. Let's keep going. Chapter 5. Are you the called or the chosen? Many are called, but few are chosen. Matthew 22:14. I used to hear this verse and feel a strange mix of awe and anxiety. Why would many be called, but only a few be chosen? Was God playing? Favorites? Was it destiny? Timing? Luck? But then one day it hit me like a divine whisper. Everyone gets the call. Not everyone answers. And even fewer stay on the line when it gets uncomfortable. The call is the invitation. The choice is the response. The calling shows up in many forms. That tug in your spirit when you hear someone else living your dream. That idea that won't leave you alone. That ache in your soul when you know you were made for more. But here's the truth. The call is free. The response costs everything. To move from called to chosen, you have to choose. You have to choose to believe in what you cannot yet see. You have to choose discipline when distraction is more appealing. You have to choose alignment over applause. That's what separates the crowd from the committed. Called to dream, chosen to build. Let me say something bold. Some people like the idea of greatness more than the responsibility of it. They like being called, but resist being processed. They want the platform, but not the preparation. They want the fruit, but skip the root. But to be chosen to truly walk in the vision requires more than talent, charisma, or vibes. It requires submission to the journey. It means showing up when nobody's watching, praying and planning when others are partying and posting, failing, learning, and returning again and again with more humility and more hunger. The chosen ones aren't perfect. They're prepared. Being chosen doesn't mean you're the smartest, loudest, or most followed. It means you are willing to go through the fire and come out refined. It means you let your ego die so your character could live. It means you let God prune you privately before presenting you publicly. I've learned this the hard way. There were seasons I was busy, but not obedient. I looked productive, but I wasn't aligned. I had the calendar full, but my soul was empty. And one day, I had to ask myself, am I performing, or am I answering the call with purpose and preparation? That moment changed everything. Reflection questions, the called versus the chosen. Time to sit with these. Have I accepted the call, but avoided the cost? Am I building something true to me or just something that looks good online? Am I choosing the narrow path or settling for the easy one? What uncomfortable growth have I been resisting? Where in my life am I still waiting for permission to walk boldly? Journal prompt, called or chosen. Write out your honest thoughts. What's one area where I know I've been called but haven't acted fully? Why? What would it look like for me to choose that calling today with all my heart, mind, and commitment. What would I need to surrender, risk, or change in order to become the chosen version of myself? The power of the yes. Here's what I know. You don't become chosen because you're flawless. You become chosen because you're faithful. Faithful to the inner whisper. Faithful in the unseen hours. Faithful even when it's not popular, profitable, or predictable. The world doesn't need more people who've been called. The world needs more people who say yes and mean it. Closing thought: being chosen is not about elevation. It's about assignment. It's not about being better than others. It's about being true to what's been placed in your hands. So let me ask you again, gently but directly. Are you just called, or are you willing to be chosen? Because chosen people don't wait to be picked. They decide to show up fully with humility, purpose, and fire. And that's what this next chapter is about. How to walk like the chosen one, even when the path is uncertain. Because being chosen isn't just a title, it's a lifestyle. Let's go deeper. Chapter 6. Vision in action. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by action makes your dream come true. Greg Reed. It's time to move from dreaming to doing. We've talked about the difference between dreams and vision. Now let's bridge the gap. Here's my personal method to help founders, creatives, and purpose-driven individuals. Like you turn a spark into a strategy. The DREAM framework, a 5-step process to transform your dreams into bold, actionable. VISIOND. Define the dream. Be specific. Be bold. Be honest. Ask yourself, what do I really want? What does success actually look like to me? Is this dream rooted in ego or impact? Your dream should stretch you, excite you, and scare you, just a little. But it must be clearly defined. Vague dreams lead to vague results. Write it down. Describe your dream in one powerful sentence. Use clear language. Not, I want to be successful, but I want to launch a coaching platform that supports 1,000 women entrepreneurs within 2 years. Or realign with purpose. Before you start building, realign your dream with your deeper why. Ask, why this dream? Why now? Who will it serve? What would I still do even if no one clapped? This step helps you strip away the noise. When your dream aligns with your purpose, you can weather any storm. Journal prompt. How does this dream align with your life's mission or calling? Write down who benefits when you show up fully. Establish a clear vision. This is the moment your dream becomes a blueprint. A vision is the architecture of your dream. Gives it structure, shape, and sequence. Ask, what does this dream look like in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? What are the non-negotiables? What are the values behind it? Build your vision statement. In 1 to 2 paragraphs, describe what your dream looks like when fully alive. Think about how it feels, who's involved, what's been accomplished, and what makes it meaningful. Action, the strategy. Now we move. Execution is the evidence of belief. Break your vision into tangible steps, not vague ideas, clear tasks. Ask, what's the very first thing I can do this week? What milestones can I set over the next 90 days? Who or what do I need to support this? Mini action plan. Create a list of 3 actions you can take in the next 7 days to move toward your vision. Schedule them into your calendar. Don't let them stay on paper. Remember, progress beats perfection. Action builds clarity. Maintain momentum. Starting is inspiring. Sustaining is spiritual. Momentum isn't about hustle, it's about rhythm, consistency, and grace. This is where purpose kicks back in to fuel the long game. Ask, what systems can help me stay consistent? How will I track and celebrate small wins? What will I do when I feel stuck? Momentum toolkit, accountability partner or coach who's keeping you focused. Monthly check-in, revisit your purpose, progress, and plan. Affirmations and reminders. Fuel your mindset daily. Don't just build the dream, become the person who sustains it. Your turn. Put your dream through the 3 a.m. framework. Choose one dream and walk it through these 5 steps. Don't rush. This chapter is your workbook. Here's a layout to guide you. Your dream. Write it in 1 sentence. D. Define the dream. Be specific. Make it measurable or realign with purpose. Why does this matter deeply to you and others? E. Establish a clear vision. Paint the picture of your future. A. Action the strategy. List 3 specific steps you'll take this week. M. Maintain momentum. What will keep you going when excitement fades? Closing note, there's nothing wrong with dreaming, but vision is what turns imagination into transformation. You don't need 1 million followers, a huge team, or a perfect plan. You need one thing: the courage to start with what you have, where you are, and who you are. Let today be the day you stop talking about it and start building it. Chapter 7. Holding on when it hurts, when everything feels like it's falling apart. It might actually be falling into place. Unknown, let's not sugarcoat it. There will be seasons when everything in you wants to walk away. You'll question your vision, you'll question your abilities. Sometimes, you'll even question God. I've been there. The cost of the calling purpose costs something. It will stretch you, strip you, sanctify you. This is the part no one posts about. The late nights, the silent prayers, the rejections, the delays, the doubt. Vision isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it looks like doing the right thing with no applause. Sometimes it's fighting the urge to quit one more time. But here's what I know. If you can't walk through pain, you'll never reach power. This is where resilience is refined. This is where the dream matures. Faith, grit, and grace it. Some point, talent will run out. Motivation will fade. You'll need something deeper. That's where faith carries you when nothing makes sense. That's where grit keeps you showing up, even when no one sees. And that's where grace reminds you, you don't have to be perfect, just persistent. Your feelings aren't always facts. Just because it feels hard doesn't mean it's wrong. This season won't last forever. It's okay to pause. It's okay to rest. But don't give up on the vision because of one hard chapter. Even when progress feels invisible, something is growing in you. The discipline, the humility, the endurance. You're not behind. You're being built. Journal prompt. Reflect honestly. Write from the heart. What's one thing I need to let go of to protect my vision? Fear, perfectionism, people-pleasing, the need for immediate results. What's one thing I must hold on to, no matter what? Your why, a promise, a word from God, a core value. Affirmation: even when it hurts, I am still called. Even when I feel stuck, I am still chosen. I will not let this season steal my seed. Practical check-in, your resilience toolkit to help you hold on in difficult times. Ask yourself, what practice grounds me daily? Prayer, journaling, walks, therapy. Who are my lifelines? Mentors, coaches, friends who speak life. What reminders keep me focused? Vision board, scriptures, affirmations. Post them somewhere visible. Make them part of your rhythm, not just your rescue. You're closer than you think. Don't abort the vision just because it got hard. You are not buried, you're being planted. Let the roots grow deeper. Let your faith grow stronger. And above all, don't let go of the dream that still wakes you up at night. Hard seasons don't mean that vision is wrong, just that it's real. Chapter 8. Visionary Living. Visionary living is not just about seeing the future, it's about stepping into it every single day. Iyabo Bello. To live as a visionary means more than having a great idea or even a clear vision. It means embodying the dream in your daily life. You dream audaciously. Visionaries don't settle for small dreams. They see beyond limitations, beyond realistic expectations, beyond the noise of doubt. But audacity isn't reckless. It's boldness tempered by belief. It's the courage to say, I see something better, even when others don't yet. Reflection. What dream feels too big right now but won't stop calling you? You act deliberately. Dreams are sparks, but action fuels the fire. Visionary living means you don't wait for the perfect moment or perfect conditions. You break the big picture into small, purposeful steps. You measure progress not just by outcomes, but by consistent movement. Discipline becomes your best friend. Planning becomes your compass. Exercise. Break your biggest goal into monthly, weekly, and daily actions. Which one small step can you take today? You live purposefully. Living with vision means aligning your choices, your habits, and your relationships with your purpose. It means saying no to distractions and yes to what fuels your growth. It means creating routines that support your mental, physical, and spiritual health, because the journey demands your whole self. Purpose-driven living creates momentum. It's like water steadily carving through stone. Reflection. What habits or people are helping you live your vision? What needs to change to bring you closer to your purpose? You build the inevitable. Visionary living is the art of turning possibility into certainty. It's where your dreams stop being wishes and start being inevitable realities. You become someone who no longer talks about what could be. You build what must be. You inspire others, not just with your words, but with your example. You create ripples that become waves. Your challenge today, I challenge you to step fully into visionary living by answering these questions. What's one bold dream I'm ready to own, no matter the risk? What deliberate action will I commit to taking this week? How will I live more purposefully to protect and fuel my vision? What legacy do I want my visionary life to leave? Affirmation for visionary living. I am not just a dreamer, I am a doer. I am not waiting for permission, I am creating permission. I live with purpose, act with clarity, and build with faith. My vision is inevitable. Closing thought. Visionary living is a daily choice, a mindset, and a lifestyle. It's waking up with intention, walking through obstacles with resolve, and resting with peace, knowing your journey is purposeful. So, rise up, live boldly, and watch your vision unfold. Conclusion. The 2:35 a.m. question. It's 2:35 a.m. The world is quiet. My daughter sleeps peacefully beside me, and yet here I am wide awake, with one question echoing in my mind. Do you have a dream without a vision without a dream, or both without the discipline to see them through? This question isn't just a late-night thought, it's a call to action. Because the truth is, no matter where you are on your journey, it's never too late to realign your dream with a clear vision and anchor both in purpose. You are not too far behind. You are not too lost. You are exactly where you need to be right now. You're just one decision away from starting again stronger, clearer, and more determined than ever. So go, build the vision, ignite the purpose, and let your dream be the fire that lights up the world. Bonus, Dream to Vision workbook to help you take the next step. I've created a hands-on workbook designed to turn your inspiration into action. This printable resource includes Dream Clarity Worksheet. Dive deep into what your dream truly is, beyond surface desires and fleeting ideas. Vision Strategy Map. Lay out a step-by-step plan that turns your dream into an achievable roadmap. Weekly Purpose Check-ins. Keep your motivation and alignment strong with guided reflections and progress tracking. Exclusive access link. Gain entry to my online resources, including video workshops, coaching tips, and a supportive community. This workbook is your companion for moving from dreaming to doing. Final note: I've got the dream. Now, build the vision. In Dream Without Vision. I, Iyabo Bello, entrepreneur, mentor, and speaker, take you on a transformative journey from imagination to execution through honest reflection, real-world insights, and practical tools. This book will help you unlock your true purpose, clarify your vision with crystal clear focus, and take deliberate steps to turn your dream into reality. Remember, dreams don't build themselves, but with vision, purpose, and persistence, your dream becomes inevitable. Thank you for trusting me to be part of your journey. Now, go out there and build the future only you can create.